Hey YouTube, what is up, and welcome to my retro review of the Shogunzord. The format that I'm going to follow for this Zord is I'm going to deconstruct it, de-transform it, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to show you the pink and blue Ranger Zords together because they're similar in how they transform. Then I'm going to show you the yellow and black Ranger Zords, how they're similar and how they transform. Then I'm going to show you the red Ranger Zords, and then I'm going to show you how they combine once again to form the entire Shogunzord. So, without further ado, let's get things started. Now, Power Rangers isn't really a show that is known for its continuity. In fact, if you actually go back and watch the first couple episodes of Power Rangers, you will see the Green Dragon Zord symbol inside the Megazord before the Green Ranger's even shown in the show. But the lack of continuity for Power Rangers really does come through with this Zord if you look at the left arm, which is pink. In the show, you will remember, if you did watch it, if you didn't, I'll tell you now, it was white. And the reason that it was white is because the way Power Rangers is filmed is there's a Japanese show, and basically they take the footage of the giant robot fights from the Japanese show and then intersplice it with American teenagers doing some karate moves to make it an American show. In the Japanese Super Sentai version of this Zord, the arm was white because that was the White Ranger Zord. But in the American show, it was very important for them to include more females in the Japanese show. So what they did was they gave the Pink Ranger the White Ranger's arm, and they gave the White Ranger the Falconzord, which is his Zord. So the Pink Ranger was using the white left arm, and it was okay in the show, but what they decided to do to reinforce that was make the arm pink in the toy, even though it didn't match the show, just to show that the Pink Ranger did in fact use the left arm. And I just took the white Falconzord off the back so you can see what the Shogunzord looks like if you were to buy it straight out of the box. It wouldn't come with the Falconzord. The Falconzord is something that you could have bought separately that could have combined with it. And I do personally think it does look better with the Falconzord in the back, but this is what it looks like if you decided to take the Falconzord off. Though I would like to add, if you are showing the Zord from its side, I would say take the Falconzord off, because as you saw earlier, it's hard to see the face of the Zord if you do have the Falconzord on and you're looking at it from anything but a straight-on view. So you can see it's fine here, but if you are looking at it from the side, I'd say take the Falconzord off. And as you probably could have guessed, this is a quick time-lapse of me just transforming the Zords so that I could show you them individually. It does look really cool, and this Zord is a little finicky with taking it apart, especially the legs. They are very fragile, so if you do have the Zord, I'd be careful taking the legs apart. But other than that, it should be fine. I really do like the smaller fighting robot modes of these, though. They look really, really cool. Now, I did mention this in the past, I am separating these Zords into groups that transform similarly. That is, the blue Zord and the pink Zord transform in the same way, so I put them together. And this is one of the first instances in Power Rangers where there's two Zords that transform similarly in parallels on the sides of the Zords. In the original Megazord, it was just the Mastodon that kind of wrapped around the back, and same thing for the Zeozord, it kind of just draped over the top. This is one of the first instances, I think, of separate Zords that transform similarly to be placed on the sides of the Zord. They do look really nice, and from the sides and back they are really detailed for what they are. If you look at the original Megazords, they weren't super detailed, but being that these are individual fighting robots that then transform into a larger Megazord, I really, really do like the detail that went into these smaller Zords, especially when you consider this was made in the early 90s, so it does look really good even now. And now for a quick tutorial just how to transform this. All you have to do is raise the arms above the Pink Ranger Zord's head, same thing for the blue Zord, until they snap into place, then turn the back piece down so that you can snap it onto the Megazord when you're making it, and all you have to do after that is turn the feet up and you have the arm ready. Next up we have the yellow and the black Ranger Zords, and these two, I gotta say, have the most unique leg joint system I've seen on any of the early Megazords. It is a weird track system where you will take both feet and slide them upwards until they lock into place, and I don't know how to explain it, but it gives you, I guess, a sense of frisson. I don't know if that's the correct word. It's just an oddly satisfying mechanism to trigger in the Zord. Usually Power Ranger Zords are a little odd and a little clunky and they don't transform all that well, but eventually it looks nice. In this instance, the way you transform it is just as satisfying as seeing the completed Megazord. That's the best way I can put it. And now to see that leg mechanism in action, all you have to do is open up the back and just flip the arms inside. You also do this on the red Zord later on, as well as with the black Zord, and then all you have to do is just grab the foot, pull it forward, and slide it up on the track, and that's it. It is the most satisfying click to making this Zord. I don't know, it's just the funnest one to transform in my opinion. And now we have the Red Ranger's Megazord, and as is the case with most Red Ranger Zords throughout the years, it acts as the centerpiece in the Megazord to which all other Zords combine and attach to make the Megazord. It is the chess piece, it is the centerpiece, it is the one you see the most, and is often the most detailed, and in this case, I believe that still holds true. I really do like this entire Zord's theme being Japanese architecture and almost like a shrine temple look to it. I really do feel like this is one of the more stylized Zords as well in general, not the Red Ranger, but the entire Megazord as a whole. And to transform it, all you gotta do is flip up the groin guard, flip the arms back, and then rotate the legs upward into the chest, and now I will combine it with the other Zords. And this is where I mentioned before, the leg attachments are a little cheesy. I don't know, it feels cheap. It might break if you're not too careful because it is just a thin piece of plastic that was made in the 1990s. So as long as you're careful with that, it's fine, and the rest of it's really just simply just snapping it together. And to touch back on the Japanese architecture that this Zord is referencing, it's really apparent now when you look at it as a whole transformed Zord. If you look at the stone design that is apparent on the arms, on the hips, and on the shins and feet of the Zord, you could see what it's referencing, as well as the Japanese temple style that is reflected with the hips and the knees as well. You could see that very stereotypical Japanese temple roof look that is on the knees, and it just looks really nice. And with that being said, overall the Zord is really easy to transform, looks really good, it's beautiful. I don't know how to explain it. It's one of the best looking older Zords. Some of the older Zords don't look too great nowadays in comparison, but this one still holds up on its own. It looks great, and it's fun and easy to transform, and that's really all I could ask for in a Megazord. So with that, I'd like to say thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want more videos like this, don't forget to click like, and don't forget to comment down below with the Zord you'd like to see in the next retro review. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to click subscribe because it's free, it's fun, and I'll see you in the next one.